What's good? Welcome to First Stream Podcast. On today's episode of First Stream Podcast, we have the one and only Kelsey Nelson joining us shortly. We will talk about the NBA Finals, the NHL Finals, the Washington Mystics with Kelsey Nelson. And does anyone know who? I'm about to mess his name up. Raj Karuth is. We will tell you all of that plus much more on this edition of First String Podcast. I hope y'all ready. Y'all know what time it is. Let's go.
It's wartime, baby. This what you signed up for. This what we worked hard for. You for. Y'all the first string. Y'all gotta go set the tone now. Hey, let's go. Lace them up. It's the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Cause it's time for the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Lace them up. It's the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast show. Imagine talking sports, having fun with the fam. At a starting lineup, First String is what you have. An entertaining stream with the Pro Bowl cast. When the viewers chime in, they gon' answer what you ask. Representing for the Queens, yeah, we got Lady A. A super knowledgeable woman who can break down any play. Said from the South, so he read GA. The Falcons, the Bulldogs, the whole Peach State. Drunk Uncle Al, only way you can describe him. Every time he crack the mic, you know he gon' be wildin'. Last but not least, it's my man Toothpick. Commanders is a squad and he the captain of the ship. So if you feel the vibe, go ahead and tune in. Like, subscribe, recommend to a friend. Nah, for real, like, subscribe, and recommend this to a friend. Hey, let's go. Cause it's time for the First String Podcast show.
Welcome back to First String Podcast. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to First String Podcast. Hit the bell to enable alert for new content just like this. And of course, y'all know the most important part is that you tell a friend to tell a friend about First String Podcast. That's how we grow. That's how we continue the show. Listen, Say It is coming in hot, so he's going to join us very, very, very soon. HR is a little bit under the weather. And like when I say under the weather, like no voice. So that leaves me and Al. And Al told HR today, Al, what'd you tell HR?
There will be no fines today.
None.
Yeah, no, that's a fine, Al. That's a fine pick.
Right.
They could guess what? She can't say it. How everybody do it, man? How everybody doing this evening?
Hey, do it again. Get the chant going. She can't say it.
Say it. She can't say it. We can say what we want to tonight, lady. Hey.
Listen, you know she watching, so we probably still will receive the fine in the mail, even though she can't say she can't say nothing. Of course, like I told you all, we will have Kelsey Nelson on here today. We are just waiting for her to jump in, which she will do. So we are going to talk a little Washington Mystics, right? Washington Mystics are 4 games back right now. We'll cover a lot of that with Kelsey. The Commanders have OTAs going on. OTAs are going on all across the NFL. But the most pressing thing that we want to discuss right now, and I said his name wrong, is Rajan. Right? Rajan Karuth. So I asked the question, do y'all know who this is? And the reason I asked this question is because my man went to an HBCU, right? He won his first NASCAR series event. If you haven't seen it, this young man is out here doing his thing. It's pretty impressive. I believe. I know what you saying no to. I saw it. I already know.
No, I was straight in my college pick. I swear I was straight in my college, man.
All right, but you know, Rajon is doing this thing in a sport industry that we usually don't succeed in. So we had to shout him out. We had to let y'all know, hey, y'all need to check this guy out. I mean, what did you find on him, Al? Because he was brought to my attention, and I did a dive. I did a little bit of a deep dive on him. Hello, am I live with you?
Going in and out. I'm sorry. Go ahead, pick. Say it again.
I was saying, Rajon Carruth is only the third black driver in history to win a NASCAR series event.
Yes.
Right. My man also, like I said, went to an HBCU. Right. Yes. He went to Winston-Salem. I think is that what? Winston-Salem University. So he's doing his thing, and he's driving for Hendricks, one of the powerhouses of NASCAR. So if Hendricks comes to get you, that means that you're doing something correct, right?
Absolutely.
So y'all need to watch out for him. Those of you
our truck event, which is the next level to the NASCAR main stage. You know, right. NASCAR Indy, those two separate. Because we got Indy, we got our boy Hamilton
over there.
Huge legend in the IndyCar. And we have, I guess, Wallace, who runs for Team Jordan.
Bubba Wallace, yep.
Bubba Wallace for Team Jordan. And then we have Rajon.
Right.
So hey, man, we're coming up in the NASCAR world slowly but surely, and we're having success.
So and I like the fact that his parents are still right there with him. He's a
young kid. He's still a young kid.
He's a real young kid in a grown man sport,
yes.
Doing his thing. So it is good to see him and his parents being right there, supporting his dreams and aspirations, as always. But we had to bring Rajon to the forefront today.
And he's been driving for a while.
Yeah.
Videos of this kid, man, 4 or 5 year olds driving around a little go-kart in the neighborhood in different places and doing little races. I guess they have junior races and things along those lines. So this isn't something he just found recently. He's been brung up. He's been reared this way to get ready for this event and to be ready for this stage. And like I said, I'm just proud that he's been able to find a great sponsor, a great team, and is having success early.
Absolutely. Sorry.
No problem.
Absolutely. Sorry.
We got news at all times. I mean, we got stuff to go into. We had Tom Thibodeau firing. We got an NBA Finals coming up. I'm sure you got some Commanders business. Excuse me, slip of the tongue. I don't know what Mike Young's talking about. 13-3 Commander record. I don't know.
That's what I thought that you were saying.
He was talking about. Y'all gonna be losing 13-3 in the first quarter. What are you talking about? The first game? What's 13-3?
That's the whole entire record.
It can't be. It's 17 games, so that can't be
17 games. That's right.
It's got to be a score. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all got to get. What is Corey on here for, man? Once again, good evening, Corey. How you doing? I'm gonna start it off the right way. 13-3 must be the score y'all gonna lose by the first game. I can get that, Mike Young. It's no problem, man. 0-1 ain't a bad start. You got 16 more games. It's not a big deal.
Al, you know how to spin it. What's good? So we have Bruce Glass in the building. We got Mike Young in the building. Cuzzo's in the building, of course.
What's up, Cuzzo?
And it is 17 games, Mike Young. So you yelling 13-3, the Commanders record.
He's not even informed. This guy. He probably still calls them the Redskins.
You got to add some more. You got to add some more wins in there.
Still looking in the past, man.
There's Corey. Corey's sitting here looking, right? My man Droop's in the building.
Droop.
Dean Coots is in the building. He says, "What's up, fam? Gotcha. Welcome." So listen, Al,
talk to
me. Get on this firing. Talk about it.
This is my thing with this. I was actually very surprised. I thought the Knicks got to where if they wouldn't have made it to the finals, I may have understood this firing a little bit more. But the fact that they over-exceeded expectations. Because truly, before the season, they had expectations of going. But during the season, they were, I think, 0-10 against the top 4 teams in the top 2 in each top 2 seeds in both in the West and the East. So when you take that into account going into the playoffs, your expectation, if you get to the Eastern Conference Finals, that is a successful season. And they played, and like I said, technically, some should say they might not even should have been. They were down 20 in 2 games that they did come back in, but I believe they deserve to be there because they won. So I don't understand the firing unless you're going to go get Jay Wright has been rumored to be coming over there, so they're gonna make the whole Villanova thing potentially. Then you got Mike Malone, former Denver's coach. I don't know if that's an upgrade against Tom Thibodeau or not. He's kind of like a Tom Thibodeau clone or not. You know, they're kind of in the same mode, I guess. Fiery coaches, long-time coaches, long-time assistants, became head coaches, successful head coaches. So I guess Leon Rose and the boys and Dolan and them, I'm not sure what they're doing, but of course that's above my pay grade. So I was very surprised to see came out like it did. I thought they would give Tom Thibodeau another year to run it back with an improved squad, making some moves in the offseason, kind of tinker with the squad. So it did shock me, but like I said, this has been a season where you've seen a lot of premium head coaches fired. Taylor Jenkins, Mike Malone, just like previously named. Now Tom Thibodeau. And there was one more that got fired. I'm trying to think who was Budenholzer got fired out of Phoenix. So, like I said, I mean, the good thing about being fired though, he still owed $30 million that he will get. So
Well,
you can definitely fire me if you want to pay me $30 million to leave. So
listen, I will sit on the beach for $30 million a year and sit on the sideline and maybe go do a little TV while I sit there. But you have to think the New York Knicks have steadily improved under Tom Thibodeau. So just like you said, expecting a little tinkering to the roster. However, Tibbs does still have this one issue, and that is that you keep a short bench. You might run 6 or 7, but for the amount of games that they did, you heard Bridges complaining during the years, like, we up so big, put our backups in, save some of the wear and tear on us. And we all know that he ran down D Rose. But then again, Al, you have to think that some coaches can get you there, but they're not that coach to get you over the top.
You have a lot. History has shown that in the past. You have your for Chicago when they brought in Phil Jackson over Doug. I can't think of
Doug Collins.
Yeah, Doug Collins. Mark Jackson got replaced by Steve Kerr. I mean, history has shown good coaches do get fired, but there is sometimes a ceiling on the potential with that team. Well, they see that he's reached his potential with that team, so there's a ceiling there, and you need someone to push him over the top. Maybe that's the case for New York. I thought they had a good starting 5, a weak bench. And like I said, Corey is correct. Corey said something earlier about Mike Malone was a championship coach. I wasn't saying that Mike Malone would be an upgrade. I'm just saying he's in the same mode. A big time, a guy that pushes his play. That not a player coach, but one of those disciplinarians, kind of like a Tom Thibodeau. And that was one of the things I think a lot of times. And one thing I think that Tom got away. They had a good offense this year, but they didn't play a defense that he was.
No, the defense wasn't there.
Defense in the playoffs has been absent. So that's what I mean. I guess all those things combined, if you keep talking long enough and you keep thinking about these things, it may make a little bit more sense. I just was surprised that the 5 years, 2 consecutive years in the playoffs, continued to improve, that they didn't give them another year with another couple of players because they was talking about big moves in this offseason. So I guess they want to start fresh with a new coach. So. I mean, like I said, but like I said, he got a nice parting gift, so I won't feel bad for him.
Hey, that parting gift is nothing to play with, for real. That parting gift is why coaches are willing to accept the high risk. What do you say? High risk, high reward type deal.
It's a risky business. Job security isn't high on the list all the time for most of them, but like I said, their contracts are fully guaranteed. And like I said, they'll have no problem paying him that money, as he'll have no problem receiving it. So, like I said, and I think Tibbs will be. I wonder if it was a power play, kind of like what happened. I think what was that in what happened in Denver, where you have a GM asking the coach to change his style, and Tibbs' style is he's not gonna play a deep bench. He's going to play his players a lot of minutes, and they usually come postseason wear down. And maybe, like I said, maybe they came to him with that. Like, hey, you got to change your style. And maybe he doesn't know how to coach another way. And they understood that. Like I said, there's a lot of questions that can be thrown out. Only certain people know what the real answers is. But this is our job to ask why.
This is exactly what we do. I like the question that we got here from Cuzzo. He says, "So question, fellas, are we firing coaches who make teams relevant? This coach has particularly put the Knicks back as a contender, and now we fire him, shaking my damn head." All right, so like we said earlier, this coach does come with some questions of keeping a really short bench, wearing your players out. Think about this. I think somebody put this up earlier. The Knicks starting five has played as many minutes as LeBron James from the summertime, from the Olympics, throughout the whole NBA season. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about because they had a summer off and LeBron James played ball in the summer. So if you put it into that context, why not keep your players fresh? And I know what time it is right now. All right. We will switch subjects and we'll come back to this one. But right now, our guest.
You have a celebrity. We don't like to keep celebrities waiting. We do not like to keep celebrities waiting.
You don't. That's just a rule. She's backstage right now, looking flawless, ready to go. Lady A said that she apologizes for not being here. She has no voice today, which we were all fine with.
Yes, we were.
I hope she feels better, though. I haven't had a chance to meet her, but no, I'm excited to be here with you guys. And let me follow. Apologies, y'all, for being late. I'd never try to be late, but I was on a podcast with some New York Knicks fans. And y'all know a little bit of big news dropped today.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of break through that.
So we were talking about that as well. We were just actually talking about it. But before we go back to the NBA, let's talk about the W.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really wanted to have you on here to talk about the W. A couple of weeks ago, when this big Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese thing happened, we got pushed a little bit. I told you it was fine. And then Caitlin got hurt.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So she's out for a little bit. Not so much. So my question to you is, are they friends or are they not?
I love this. And I'm not going to sit here and say they're friends, right? From what we've heard them talk about each other, they're competitors, right? And they've played each other for a long time. These girls know each other, right? We're talking about pre-college, right? Like they've been on the basketball circuits. They have to be careful about with the word friends, right? In sports, right? Again, I think they respect each other as competitors and athletes. This conversation has been interesting. My Twitter has blown up. I think I've gotten called a race baiter like 3 times, and I'm in Outkick articles and everything. It's wild to me, just because I speak the honest truth. All this to say, it was what I'm going to say was a flagrant foul. It just was. They called it right. Watch it, and that's just objectively looking at it, right? You can't do that. But I think what I hate and what I'm glad you're asking about, Toothpick, is that we put words in people's heads. Or put words in people's mouths. Like I had a big problem with RG3 saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark without talking to Angel Reese. If you have never heard that, and again, this goes back to just so many different things, but to me, it honestly went back to the angry Black woman stereotype that so many people try to push, right? She has to hate her, right? She just wants to be nasty. And, Angel Reese being from the area, right? Being a Baltimore girl, which I think she embraces and loves, the way she I thought was right. If someone pushes me down like that, better believe I'm going to do the same thing. What was she supposed to do? Sit there and say, thank you, Caitlin. I don't know what people, I just don't know the reaction people thought. Women's sports is just as competitive as men. But no, I would not say they don't hate each other. Honestly, I think they respect each other because they're both top athletes and they've both played at top levels, right? And in terms of college, right? We want to see them play at the top level in the WNBA. These were 2 girls that went at it for the Rookie of the Year contest last year, right? Until Angel got hurt, that last season. But no, I would never use the word hate. I'm sure they're tired of the commentary around them outside of basketball, but I would never say that they hate each other. And I think they just know they're intertwined and that it's just never going to go away.
Come on, Al.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Mr. Kelsey. I felt the same way. I felt she reacted the same way. And the good thing is, I guess sometimes they say any attention is good attention, and I don't always go with that.
Yeah.
But I do think the fact that the WNBA is starting to get the notoriety, the eyes that is watching. For so many times, women's sports, they were being watched for how they looked more than how they played. And I think we're getting to a point now that these girls can play.
Yes,
And
on the
like I
top
said,
level.
and regardless of how they look, and some of them are very beautiful women, but that's not what we're watching. We're
Yeah.
watching because of the level of skill. And
Right.
I think that's the important thing, and that's the thing that we're trying to get to. And I think it's big that they're seeing these games on ABC as well, because
Yes,
it's giving
national
the
game.
audience more people, more eyes, higher ratings, and they're rating well, which would be good for their pocketbooks, because they can go back to the NBA and say,
Yeah.
hey, we are a ratings draw.
That's going to be
So
part of the
that's
CBA conversation, right? That's where there's conversations about will there be a strike? We're talking about lockout and stuff. They know what they're doing. But, I would say, I get what you're saying. But like I said, I still think even before Angel and Caitlin, I know people are going to be like, oh, well, it wasn't watched as much. Yes, Caitlin helped rating. It's no joke about that. They showed her at the playoff game with the Pacers and Knicks for that same reason. I mean, she's ratings literally anywhere she goes. You put her name or Angel Reese's name on social media, like you're getting traction like that. That's
and Paige Buckets. And
Paige Bucket, who, by the way, is balling out. I know right now, I think she's doing the concussion protocol, but Paige balling with Dallas and excited to see.
Y'all are stealing my thunder. My thunder. You're stealing my thunder. I got my questions lined up.
I didn't mean to continue on that quickly, but I let's be honest, controversy sells, right? Yes, like probably more people love reading about the controversy between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, just because they know it's controversy and they know it's going to be talked about. I mean, people who aren't in sports circles, I get asked to be on shows that aren't sports, literally just to talk about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, because they've transcended sports, you all. Yes, and not even just in America, they have transcended sports internationally. People internationally want to talk about what's happening here with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. But like I said, we can't put words in those athlete mouths. Like literally, they both say, they're just playing basketball, and they love it. So that's my biggest thing. I don't, and I will say, I hated how nasty it got. I just think, honestly, RG3 should have never posted that video, again, without talking, unless you're going to talk to Angel Reese. I felt like it was a bait video. I thought Ryan Clark was doing his due diligence and his own words to try to defend a Black woman who has been torn down many, many times. And a lot of it is outside of basketball play. If you look at some of her mention, the words that are being used, it's just utterly disgusting. But I never wanted to see it get to that level either. I was happy to engage in conversation, but y'all, we were talking about it 2 weeks after. It got to a level I just think that it shouldn't have got to, but we know it's going to happen literally every time those two touch the court, and each touches the ball. So that's kind of where we are right now.
So let's go outside of Angel Reese and Caitlin.
Really quickly, though, on Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky have a problem. They need to fix it. I think they're trying to feed Camila Cardoso more. They got to figure out the spacing with her and Angel. But it's been hurtful, though, to see kind of where they are now. I think the trade pieces that they made last season, not having Kennedy Carter, I think Ariel Atkins being added in and trying to find the way to mesh. But Chicago, I think they're not horrible, but they have to build and find that on-court chemistry, because I think that was kind of one of the more surprising storylines, by the way, in the WNBA. And
I love I was gonna say I love Cardozo and Reese together, but they do need somebody from the outside to give them two space, and maybe figure out a way to play a high-low game between them two. So that they can go to work, because they need to go to work. That's how they're going to wind up winning a championship. So everyone is comparing Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese to Bird and Magic. We've done it on this show. We said,
of course,
we've all said, Bird and Magic are in the WNBA right now, right? So my question to you is, Michael Jordan was still in college a couple of years ago, right? A couple of years. So who is the Michael Jordan that we're not looking at yet that is in college? Is it Juju Smith? Is it Paige Buckets? Because there are a bunch of players coming behind, that I think that the Reese Clark class was outstanding, but the classes coming up behind them are even better.
Yes.
It's exciting, and this is what I love right now about women's college hoops, is that there's a pipeline, right? And if you watch women's college basketball, if you watch March Madness, right, and all these, it's exciting. Obviously the easy answer would be Juju and what she's been able to do. That's why we were all hurt when she got hurt, right? And I feel like we were deprived, of her greatness, which, by the way, shout out to her former teammate Kiki, who has been balling out for the Washington Mystics, the rookies right now who we're talking about,
right,
in Washington, D.C. But you know, I don't say you can't say it's juju, but I think the beautiful thing about, you know, college basketball, women's college basketball, there's so many fun names, you know, to watch. And I think that's why, again, we hear more people switching over, right? You know, I'm excited about Olivia Miles. I'm not saying she's Jordan, but I mean, there's so many people I'm excited to continue to watch, you know, in women's college hoops that I think just don't get enough attention. I love the Juju's kind of carrying the big torch. You know, it's kind of like the big player in women's college basketball. I think people would easily call her Jordan because she likes the ball. Let's just be honest. She likes the basketball. She knows what to do with the basketball. And she knows how to score on different levels in different places. But again, giving props to the rookie class this year, like I will say these girls are not only coming out, but they're delivering toothpick. Like, I mean, look at the rookies just this season. Like, what a fun rookie class it's been. I think they've only added another element. Let's remember how hard it is to get a roster spot in the WNBA. It is not easy, right? It's a very competitive league. We know they're adding 2 more teams, which we're excited about, right? We had the Valkyries added this year, which has been exciting. Toronto and Portland, right, coming up next on that WNBA expansion list, which is going to be great, right, in terms of offering more opportunities for these WNBA players. But yeah, right now in college, look, we're all Team Juju. We're all wearing high buns. We're all watching Miss Jackson and her and Jaden maybe sitting close, but Miss Jackson keeping a watchful eye out. But we can't wait for Kiki to get back to the court.
Absolutely.
I mean, Juju to get back to the court. So I had Kiki in my head because, like I said, what she's done with the Mystics, I'm so happy about. And I wish more people were talking to her. The DC media market does not get the credit that it needs to get for what's happening right now with Washington.
I agree. Less Commander coverage and more Mystics coverage. I'm for all that.
He doesn't really mean that.
Commanders have earned their coverage too, though, right? I'm gonna give full praise and credit to the Commanders for what they've done.
Less Commander, more Mystics. I'm all for that.
I'm like, and look, and mind you, the NFL noticed that too, because we see where some of these games are going to be played for the Commanders, you know, this season, right? And looking at not just having to sit in that 1 p.m. time slot.
Okay, so before we get to a question from the chat, I got you, Cuzzo. I wanted to bring it back home to the Mystics, and you went there as well. 4 games back right now, pushing for a playoff spot. It is the rookie class that is carrying them right now. Yeah. Are they building this team the right way? Are they building it the correct way? Of course, we know we had some retirements from the WNBA. They do affect the Mystics.
Yeah, Deladon.
Yes. So how much longer do we have to wait before the Mystics are a real threat, a real contender?
Oh, man. Well, I will say I think the Mystics might be a contender before the Wizards. I think we're going to be waiting a lot longer.
That's not hard to say.
The Washington Wizards to be contenders in Washington. But, you know, I think getting back Shakira Austin was huge for Washington. We talked about the rookie players. You know, Brittany Sykes doesn't get talked about enough, but for her role and what she's able to do. Remember when they're able to get back Georgia too, right? As we talk about those rookies, you know, it's such a shame what happened to her and having to be out. Aaliyah Edwards, again, continuing to build. And somebody I think people need to keep looking at is Big Mama Steph Dolson and what she's able to do with her veteran presence. So I feel like the Mystics have pieces, right? They have a lot of the right pieces. They don't have that championship piece yet. But I think that's what's kind of most exciting about the Mystics. That you could really say they've been able to do this without a superstar player, you know, on that roster. But they're playing, like I said, good team basketball. Emily Engsler is another one that I like on that Mystic squad. She plays hard. She plays tough. But I think Shakira Austin's also going to be like, and what she's able to do, again, when she can stay healthy. Shakira has to stay healthy. But when she can stay healthy, she's a true threat. She was really the one we were looking at. I don't know if you guys watched the Mystics Fever game, the Caitlin Clark-less Mystics Fever game. But when Shakira started going, like she was the offense for one moment, really helping to spur and then again help the other players like be able to find a groove. So I like what they're building in Washington. They're going to be better, I think, than they were last season. But again, remember where the Mystics were last season, and remember they truly only have up to go. But I think the pieces they have are the right pieces. The new leadership in Washington. I know we talk about that a lot with the Commanders, but remember this new leadership we have with the Mystic squad. Like it seems like it's all gelling and building the right way. So Washington is a team, fellas. When you get that league pass, when you're watching some of those national games, like make sure you're watching what's happening in DC because it's on the right upward trend.
There we go. Come on, Al.
How has the crowds been at the games? I know they moved to a different arena. How was the crowd? How was the crowds following been for the Mystics thus far?
I would say the crowds are still pretty consistent, right? Like my whole thing was with the Mystics, honestly, and I've said this since they moved to Southeast DC, I do think it's a little bit harder for folks to get to. Now, of course, depending on who they play, those games are obviously always going to be fuller. I will say the Wizards have some diehard fans that are there. They're in the front row. The Mystics have also done really great and fun activations. They did some brunches last season. When I was at the game with the Indiana Fever, they had a great activation for influencers. And I think the Mystics also embracing like where they are and who they are. So like in Baltimore, oh my God, I'm going to mess up these guys' names, but they did like the Park Heights stretch, Shaggy and stuff, and paying homage to Baltimore, which was really, really cool. I don't know if the whole Fever fan base understood what was going on, but those of us from the area like knew what was going on. But I think it's a solid fan base, but honestly, I would love to see Entertainment Sports Arena packed out each night. I think if y'all know the area, I think, again, just the arena, and it's easy to get to, right? You take the Metro to Congress Heights. You can literally walk from right there, take the bus down there as well. But I think we just have to be honest with the DC area. I still do think there is some, I don't know if honestly, if I've ever heard, like, I could count the events I've probably ever heard fully sold out at Entertainment and Sports Arena. And then that's not a Mystics problem. Again, I think it's just with people, depending on where you live, just wanting to travel to Southeast DC, it's a little bit more work, I think, for a lot of the fans who are either coming from like the Maryland area or like the Northwest DC area. And that's been something that's been a problem to me. I think they just have to better sell. Like, it's easy to get to, come vibe. It's a great arena, right? Smaller, homey feel. Shout out to DJ Heat, who keeps the vibes rocking strong, for the Washington Mystics games. But I would love to see more new Mystics fans at
there we
games.
go.
They do have a solid crowd. And I will tell you, those rookies, they are the favorites. My gosh, the way the fans react to Kiki and Sonya, like it's a beautiful thing.
Well, just a quick programming note here. We are live with Miss Kelsey Nicole Nelson. Please give her a follow on Twitter, Facebook. She will keep you up to date with sports and everywhere that she goes.
Yes,
it's amazing to see her out and about. Come on, Al, you got the next one.
Question and gets in. How have you had a chance to see anything? I know a book came out today by Candace Parker.
I saw that. I was watching ESPN today.
Yes, and I saw that. Have you had a chance to hear anything about that book?
I have yet to read it. I love Candace's response that like her pets, her dogs were like the first ones I got to give the test. That gave the paws up. But let me say, anything from a champion like Candace Parker or like a great on so many levels, a great broadcaster, right? A great basketball talent, a great mom, a great family person. Like, I'm excited to read it. And I think Candace has just so many telling lessons. So I feel the same way about Candace's book as I did about Asia's book, as I did about Asia's shoe. Like, I'm excited, You
got the Asia shoes? Did you get
I didn't get them. So let me tell y'all, I'm trying to switch into being a sneakerhead. Like, I'll be honest.
Oh, come on.
Don't do it. I'm going to tell you, don't do it. It's a terrible habit.
Come on with me. I'm
shoes falling out of my closet. Don't do
I
it.
got shoes in the garage I haven't worn. I got them on GOAT. And all these
Well,
other
look,
places.
in men's, I'm at 8.5. So if you have any 8.5, please send them my way.
I'm gonna tell you, I got some nice.
Look.
shoes.
I'm gonna tell you, it's an expensive habit to have. It's an expensive
But
habit.
I want to seem like I think I'm in that part of because I'm for comfort now, y'all. Like, I
Yes.
wear heels for too long. Like, I'm more into like for me now. I love when I get the sneaker ball gala invites. Like, so I'm turning into one,
Okay.
but it's not there yet. But Asia
What's
should
your
will
go-to
be
right
in
now?
there.
What's
I
your
love
go-to right now?
I want it
What's your go-to right now? What's your go-to sneaker?
for
right now?
sneakers.
Yes.
Am I even supposed to call them sneakers? Are they kicks?
Wow.
That's how you know, like, I'm so out of touch. I can't tell you because y'all are gonna laugh at me.
We're going to get you right with this show. We're going to adopt you into the family.
Jordans.
There you go.
Jay.
So we're going to start with that. You can't go wrong most of the time with those. So we're going to adopt you into the first thing family, Kelsey, of the shoe.
I've been a career woman too
The
long.
sneakerhead. It's okay because like you said, a lot of the career women are going to the more comfortable shoes.
Comfort is key.
And they're more acceptable now that you
Yes.
don't always have to be in the heels.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I still have my Jordans. I got them right.
See?
But these New Balance, the 90s in the
Okay.
1000s, the color palette.
It's nice. I can do New Balance. It's like growing up in the area, like New Balances is what all
You
I
know,
saw.
you can always go to the New Balance.
You can always go with a New
All
Balance. But look at the 960s was like last summer. But there's a 1000 line that's coming out. You can
That's what I
always
should
go
get for this summer.
with the 574s, good colors there as well.
990.
So yeah, it's a New
I
Balance.
want to be right. I don't want to be on somebody's TikTok and then laughing at me talking about I'm wearing like kicks from like 3 summers ago. Like
You'll be all
I'm trying to learn, where I'm supposed to be.
Say it's coming in hot. He'll be here. He'll be here in a second. Now let's get to the NBA real fast. So the news: Tom Thibodeau is out.
Wild.
Is a shocker, especially when you're in the Eastern Conference Finals. But just like me and Al was discussing earlier, you have coaches that can get you to a conference final, but can't get you over the hump. Is that what New York is seeing?
I think it was still too early.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I'm old enough to remember when New York's basketball was struggling, and they weren't relevant. Now we're talking about the East, right? And let's think about the top teams, right, that we're thinking about in the East now that are competitors. The Knicks have been won, right? Who else would we talk about? Celtics, but we're Jason Tatum. We need to figure out, right, what's next with that, right? You think about that, and I think the Knicks just must not be used to night things. The Cavs, we know regular season Cavs, right? Regular season Cavs.
They were amazing.
Will show up, and that's what I just didn't understand. Like Tim's, like the playoffs, and I get you want to do a postseason, but like the Knicks played quality, and let's remember you just got Cat. You're telling me you don't want him to build on another year with Karl Anthony Towns. The trade Bridges as well. Like, I just think they let go too early and too quick. And it wasn't like they were fully broken, right? Like, literally the next thing for the Knicks is going to be that championship. You had a coach that was committed. I know everyone's talking about some of his decisions, and I know Kat got some critique, but this season I've also been talking with Warriors fans about some of Steve Kerr's decision, and Steve Kerr is a top right caliber coach. Let's just be honest, fans aren't ever going to be fully happy. I did not like this decision by New York.
Thank you, Kelsey.
I was surprised. I had to stop my Zooms. I had to get off. I had to pop on my phone because I was like, honestly, what the hell is happening in New York? Like, it was too quick, too fast. With someone that was building in the right way, someone who you knew the postseason was going to be there. Like, literally all he had left to do was to deliver the championship. Was that fully his fault? No, right? Like, I just thought there needed to be more time to gel and to mesh. And I think to find a good quality coach, I know there's a lot of people talking about too, like, can the Knicks bring in a superstar, to add to that as well. I was on a podcast right before this one and they were talking about what if they get Giannis? I don't see it. I don't see it.
They don't have the assets. They don't have the assets to get Giannis.
Right. So I just feel like it shouldn't have happened. I said it. I think they made a mistake with Tibbs. I hope he bounces back. But too soon. Too soon.
Is Brunson not the superstar for that team?
He is, though. What can Brunson not do? And if anything, like, he just couldn't carry it right by himself. But I think also with the Knicks, like, let's also give proper credit to the Indiana Pacers.
Yes.
Let's also give credit to the Indiana Pacers, like what they were able to do. Shout out to, I know there's controversy with Siakam winning the MVP, but in terms of points and what he was able to do in that series, he delivered. Tyrese Halliburton hopefully getting more respect. I'm still on game one and that crazy game one series, right? That we thought was over. And then all of a sudden, what the hell? He made the shot and then overtime. Like, I really think that was a turning point. And that's when I was like, y'all, the Pacers are going to win this series. But they were able to win on the road, right? And in hostile environments. So you look at the depth of that Pacers squad as well. I just don't think they get enough credit, right, for the pieces that they've built. And again, just the hunger there. I was listening to Miles Turner like post game, and someone that's been there a long time, like, and they really do. And remember the Pacers. Let's remember where they were last season, right?
Yeah.
And look at what they were able to do and continuing to build on what needed to happen. But all in all, to say, I did not like it for New York. I did not like it for Tibbs. I think Knicks fans just aren't used. And as someone who's not used to nice things in DC, Knicks fans aren't used to nice things. And I just want to see how you try to replace it and build back.
Yeah, they were trending. I'm with you, Kelsey. I've said the same thing. They were trending in the right direction.
Yes.
Give it a chance to run it back.
At least another year. At least another year.
Thank you.
Cat was new.
I understand the move. I won't feel bad for him because he did get $30 million to leave. So I won't feel bad, but
he's getting paid. That's not a bad way to get fired.
No, but who are you going to get to replace? Are you talking Mike Malone? I guess that could be seen as an upgrade. Jay Wright. I've heard that. So you're gonna make it a Villanova 2.0. I don't know what exactly are you. What did you not get from this coach that you're looking for?
That someone else will bring.
Yes. So, and before we get, not to jump subject off this too quickly, we have to get your finals pick as well. Do you think Indiana can do it against the powerful OKC?
It's not going to be easy. OKC plays well. I like them on both sides of the basketball, right? Like, obviously love what Shea's doing, and I got an underrated MVP. He deserves so much more credit. I think Chet Holmgren deserves to be talked about some more. I know Jalen Williams is the one that a lot of people, are rightfully talking about. But the other side of the basketball, obviously love with Tyrese. And Tyrese Halliburton, and Pascal Siakam have been able to build and be able to do. And honestly, even just that supporting cast in Indiana. And like I said, the depth in Indiana. I think what's going to be hard for the Indiana, though, is the defense, right? It's OKC's defense. Indiana's going to not make it easy for you to shoot that basketball, right? Like, especially around the rim, you are going to work. For Indiana, they better hope, and they've had tries where they've been able to hit the 3-ball, but also OKC can defend the perimeter. Like, OKC is just a hard team to beat. Again, they're pretty complete on both sides of the basketball. I know everyone's writing for OKC, but y'all, I like the momentum right now. For the Indiana Pacers. And again, I hear everything what everyone's saying about, Alex Caruso, Dort, and all those people, but don't doubt Indiana Pacers. Like, the chemistry I think they were able to build this year, and you can really tell, like, they're playing for each other. I got worried about that Aaron Nesmith injury when it happened during the game, but seeing him able to come back, and I don't think he's talked about enough. I think he's an X factor. I like what Indy has built. So I think the series is going to play out. I know OKC's a favorite, but I'm going with Indiana, y'all.
But it sounds like you're rooting for the Pacers.
I talked to Dark Walker this weekend, and he was asking, who's my pick, and I on here I said my NBA Finals teams are OKC and Indianapolis, and I'm leaning OKC. However, both of these teams play defense, and there's always that adage that defense wins championships, right? Now OKC has some perimeter guarding people. They pass you off to another all-pro, to another all-pro, to another great defender. And then if you get past them, then you got to deal with Chet Holmgren at the rim. Yes. Which is ridiculous.
And what's the big kid who came from New York? Hockenstein, the center who plays next to Chet.
Yeah.
His name escapes me.
I can't get to it because my mind's on Indiana right now. I do like the fact that Indiana did come to play. What has me sort of, hesitant about Indiana is their defense sometimes has lapses, and it all starts with good defense. We know that they can play offense, but you can't lapse versus OKC. You can't do it. If you do it, you'll find yourself down 30, not down 20.
You will.
Real fast, real quick. So I'm with you. I understand how you are going against the trend. I see it. I see it myself. I'm gonna give my pick later today for who I got winning this, but I can.
Well, if I give my pick now, look, you got to give your pick now.
Well, I'll start with Sid. Hey, Sid. How are you? Glad you made it in.
Hey, working hard working. You know what I'm saying?
At the same time.
I'll say I'm not studying St. Charles. Me and him have a talk later. I agree. The Pacers were my pick between the Knicks and during the last series at the time. But I was impressed. I must say I was thoroughly impressed by OKC. I thought that Minnesota after last year, such a tough series they had, it went 7 and then out. I was surprised in some of those games. They were getting boat raced by OKC. I mean, I was thoroughly surprised. Yeah. I still think Indiana win it, but I'm telling you, OKC kind of made me lean their way a little bit.
So he go with Indiana and lean in OKC. Got you.
I think with OKC too, wasn't that like OKC was that much better, or was Minnesota just that much just not that bad? I guess exactly. It was surprising. I'm not taking anything away from OKC, but Minnesota was not the Minnesota team fully that we had seen this season.
No, that's not the team that we saw go up against Dallas last year.
OKC though,
I think it does. I think it does as well.
I'm just saying, was it fully, or were they just off?
If you know this is OKC team, this is what I must say, because I'm not a fan of either. So all I can do is sit back and take notes and try to figure this out. They're the team that's getting better the quickest throughout this process.
We've been talking about them the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, but this year, I think getting knocked out early last year, they're using that as fuel this year. The whole SGA push for the MVP. I think they're figuring out in game, and they're disposing of teams quickly, and they're the youngest team in the playoffs.
Mhm.
You have that combination of being able to figure it out on the go, play your best, and still win when you're not playing your best, and stay young. It's a very dangerous team, but I think we got the best matchup we could get between the two teams: a high-powered offense that's deep and a high-powered offense and defensive team that's deep. And both of these teams will go 8, 9, 10 deep, so that's important.
So Tyreke Halliburton was voted as the most overrated player in the NBA. So do you think that his peers wish they could redo that vote right now?
That's hilarious. I don't think they would redo it. I think Tyrese Halliburton really has become like a NBA villain, right? Like my mind instantly went back to, head to head with Pops with Giannis Antetokounmpo. And now, and not saying that was Tyrese's fault, right? And it wasn't, right? His Pops is a grown man. But I feel like that motivation added. I think back even to the Olympics, y'all. Like I just feel like he has been like underrated. Even now we're talking about, is he a star? Is he a budding superstar? Is he a superstar? Like, I think Tyrese just leaves so many questions. And I think just his demeanor, it's funny, like in the NFL, they say, I think like Lamar Jackson is like one of the most beloved players. Like everyone loves his calm, cool, elected demeanor. Like he's just cool. Tyrese on the other side, I feel like people is just like annoying. And like, I feel like they think he's like entitled. So I don't think they would switch that, but I think what Tyrese was able to do, it makes me think of the Geno Smith quote. Like they tried to write me off. I ain't right back. Like
right.
I literally feel like that's what Tyrese did and was able to take it as motivation. Like, oh, y'all think I'm overrated? And the man can play some basketball. He can play some basketball. And not only can he play basketball and can shoot the ball, but also he doesn't get enough props as what he's able to do in the assist categories.
In the triple-double he had with 0 turnovers.
And no one's talking about that enough, right? A clean basketball game, right? And I'm talking like a clean basketball game. So I don't think they would take away him being overrated. Honestly, I think if they had to vote again today, he would probably still land on that list. Why people hate him fully, I think is still up in arms. But, to be fair, also like he's a star in a team in a low NBA market. Like, let's just be honest, right? So maybe they also feel like he just hadn't earned maybe some of the stripes, that they're, because Shea is also another one, I think. I don't want to call him overrated, but he's not talked about enough. I think this is the least MVP conversation talk I've ever seen in a while when it comes to the NBA.
My last comment, Shea not only frustrates the players, but he frustrates coaches. And when you can frustrate a coach that they can't do anything except for go to the post conference and get fined, now you're doing something. So I don't know. I mean, Shea's game speaks for itself. I don't care how many different people you put on him. He's going to highly frustrate all of them and the coach as well. So come on, Al.
I mean, Shea is my guy. I don't know how you can't love his basketball game. He can score from every level to the hole, mid-level, and he developed the three ball this year, and he plays it on both sides of the both sides. He maybe one of the top 3 defensive teams as well as being the MVP. I mean, so I can't understand why you don't love his game and why he's not being pushed more. I think if his game was more flashier, like an Anthony Edwards, he would probably get more pub. But I don't understand. If you like basketball, it's impossible not like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yes.
Watch him play basketball. It's getting through the whole mid range. I mean, break it down the dribble. I mean, he creates shots different angles. I mean, I love watching him. He's one of my favorite players to watch and has been for several years. So I'm a fan, and that's not my pick. But I'm a fan, so
who's your pick, Al? So I can give mine.
Well, I think OKC is gonna do it, but this is the only reason I'm picking OKC. I think Sam Presti deserves a title for as good of a GM he's been without a title. So it's not so much about the team. I just think it validates Sam Presti because he's one of the best GMs and talent evaluators in the league. And you think about all the talent he's had on the team to never have a championship. And I think it would just kind of validate what we all know is that he's a great evaluator of talent and a great GM and has put together some monster teams. This team still has assets to trade to get. They have more assets in New York.
They do.
To get a superstar. They could actually be a team to get Giannis next year or one of the KDs if he wanted to come home, which is crazy to think. that they have the assets and their team is, and they go 10 deep. So I mean, that's have to give kudos to the GM and to the guys running the basketball operations, because he's put together a well-oiled machine that seems that doesn't run itself, but is a fantastic. So that's the only reason would be pulling for OKC. Even though I think they're going to win, because I do want to see him get his validation championship.
Well, Al, you talk about the rich getting richer. You couldn't be speaking about any other NBA team other than OKC, because this is probably the one team that could pry away the number one pick from the Dallas Mavericks.
Possibly.
They could give them everything they wanted and more, and then add another rim protector that can play 4 and the 3, 4, 5, and 3. So my pick literally is, I'm going to go ahead and make it official. I'm going to put my stamp on it too, Al. And my reason is for a different one. Okay. The Washington Wizards brain trust, that front office. A lot of it comes
Wizards
from,
get into this.
I will tell you how. Because a lot of these guys.
He can't bring the Wizards to a conversation about a winner, but go ahead, please.
Absolutely, I can, because a lot of their front office people came from OKC, so they know how to build it. It will give us in Washington another reason to cheer for OKC, because our front office people have come from there, as well as other places from around the NBA as well. Okay. And let's get us back on the right track, even though we didn't wind up with the first pick. We got number 6. Yeah. So, yeah.
Nice things don't happen to the Washington Wizards. They don't. That was wild.
Yeah. It's picked. It's rigged. It's fixed. So, yeah.
Oh, man. We got it.
We got Corey agreeing with Al.
I'm about to sign off. Me and Corey are agreeing upon each other. It's time for me to sign off. Yeah, you're right. I'm done. Change my pick now.
Come on, say it. So let's get you to stop leaning, stop weebling and wobbling.
I already said my pick.
You got Indianapolis. You got Indianapolis.
I'm going with the Pacers.
All right. Okay.
Now I will. Let me say this though before we get too far away. The Mavericks had a shot at number 1 pick. They gave him away. They don't get another chance.
Well, apparently they do.
Yeah, They do.
Because the NBA touched a frozen envelope or something.
Nope. They don't get another shot. They had a guy. They don't get another shot. They trade him away.
All right. So this question is for Ms. Nelson, for Kelsey. It says, if Magic and Bird played in the NBA era, do you think this would be worse than Clark and Reese rivalry?
Oh, this is interesting, right? If we're talking about Magic.
Shay?
I feel like, honestly, I don't think it would be worse. I think there's different dynamics to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. It's because they're female athletes, right? Female athletes and from different races. I still think Magic and Bird would still been the same thing, but no, people don't pit men, I think, the same way in today's world as they do with women athletes, right? If this had been the same question about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark back in their day, it probably wouldn't have been as big of a storyline, right? Because women's basketball, right, wouldn't have been at that height that it is right now. So all that to say, I think it's just worse now. Again, just the way women are criticized. I did my senior thesis on this at Maryland, and it was specifically how Black female athletes are looked at. And honestly, I graduated from Maryland in 2014. I wrote that thesis 2013. It's the same.
Still relevant today.
Same thing that Angel Reese is
facing. She a Terp.
I'm a Terp. Go Terps. Pay proper respect to the basketball squads this year, by the way.
How do you feel about the Buzz Williams hire? Real quick. How do you feel about the Buzz Williams hire?
I'm still curious.
Buzz Peterson. Sorry.
It's Buzz.
No, you're right, Buzz.
It's Buzz.
I'm still curious. I've talked to some folks, who know Maryland basketball well. I think there were some questions about some of the coaching staff. He brought a lot of guys from his former school, right, Texas A&M.
Yep,
and as we look at Maryland basketball, we look at a guy like Derek Queen. One of the things that Maryland had been hoping to build on is to recruit locally. There's a lot of local talent, right? Both DMV and Baltimore. So wanting to see if he can do that. And then honestly, let's be honest, the players that were successful last year, guess what? They're gone.
All of them.
So Buzz has only up to build. He's got some work to do, something at Kevin Willard. I know people hate Kevin Willard right now in Maryland, but outside of where Kevin Willard finished, the other thing he has to do is get butts and seats at Xfinity Center. Even with Maryland's success, Maryland basketball was not full enough for how good they were this season. So I think that's going to be the other thing. And I think, remember, with him getting hired and the new athletic director getting hired in there,
Yes.
you know, the athletic directors, when we think about job, longevity. And I think there's going, and Maryland, as much as I love, Maryland being the Big Ten, they're still a basketball school. It's still a basketball school. So I do think there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. I've seen some of these recruits coming in, but we're in an NIL era, and I think people will give him a growing space for the first season. It's going to be tough after how well Maryland basketball did last year, right? And, think about it, Maryland losing to the eventual champions of basketball last year. But I'm excited for it, but I will be honest. I was rooting for a former player to come back to Maryland.
I wanted Simp.
Yeah. Everybody was on Simp, Sarah.
Man. I wanted
I know people got on me about that because they're like, oh, he doesn't have enough coaching experience and stuff. But like College Park, it's a special place. I remember games at Cole Fieldhouse. Like I go back with Maryland basketball, and I think building that, just keeping that legacy of what Maryland basketball is, I wouldn't have been mad at it. I would not have been mad at it. And look, I covered Pat Ewing at Georgetown. And I know that didn't go right. But, that's a whole different conversation for, for another day. But I really was rooting for Steve Blake. I'll be honest. I was rooting for Steve Blake. I know that was not, a lot of people say that had the experience.
Where is he coaching at now?
I don't know where he's coaching, but his son.
His son just signed with Maryland, right?
Yep. His son's coming to Maryland. But I was for the pipeline. I was for Maryland basketball pipeline and bringing back some of them legends and reviving Maryland basketball. When I was in College Park, we'd stand in line for games. They were fuller. Like, I miss that. But I'm excited for Buzz. I want him to do well. He needs to do well. With how Kevin Willard left, I do think there's a lot of support for him.
Yes. We got a couple more minutes with Miss Kelsey Nelson here. If you have a question, please put it in the chat right now. We'll get it to her. And you got about 3 minutes because I usually do my interviews about 15 to 20 minutes, but she gave us some extra time. So I really do appreciate it. Speaking of Maryland, since we are going to jump there and we have a new athletic director in Maryland, how much time does my man get with this football team?
Ooh, you are hitting a hot one right now. I'll be honest, Mike Locksley he better get back to the bowl. He used to have a stretch of bowl games, and there might have been meaningless bowl games, but they were bowl games. I think at a minimum, he has to get this Turks team to bowl game level. It's anytime you get a new boss, you got to prove yourself. Maryland football has been going through growing pains for too long. I'm excited about this new quarterback in Malik. I had a chance to meet him this summer and his family. Not this summer, in February. And to be honest, a lot of the problems last year with Maryland, the quarterback was Billy. It struggled because let's be honest, Maryland players do good in the pros. They just do.
But they have a wealth of talent.
There's a pipeline there. But
they put some wide receivers in the league for sure.
Yes. Even though I will tell you, I'm not happy with all the stuff I'm seeing around Stephon Diggs. He's from my area, and I won't get there deeply, but you and Carter behave. That's all I'll say. Just behave. But no, I think Mike Locksley, honestly, and I've met him. I've had a chance to speak with him. I love what he also does outside of just his job, what he's building, with the minority coaches and creating those pipelines. Love his connections, obviously, to the area. But honestly, he has to win.
Yes.
He has to win this season.
And I want to ask this tough job.
He needs a winning percentage.
I was
500 minimum.
I was about to ask, like, the tough question here is how many games does he have to win to save his
500
job?
minimum.
500 is not going to get you to a bowl game.
I know, but that's the problem. So he better hope. But
8 wins. He got to get to 8. I think.
But or he needs to beat the big schools, right? So last year was at that Maryland USC game, right? And I really do think that helped to save his job, right? USC's first time coming here, and that was a great electric game. The Northwestern game hurt them though because that was crazy.
A game they should have won.
Getting beat like that in prime time. I think if he's able to somehow knock off one of those big dogs, and we know who the big dogs are in the Big Ten, it's a big ask. That might be the only way I think Toothpick he can go 500 if he's able to get some big quality wins.
Well, you got to knock off Penn State.
Hard as hell. Ohio State, hard as hell.
You got to knock one of these 3 off.
But if he somehow did,
Kelsey, Pick,
somehow did.
Kelsey and Pick, I'm gonna give you all a little help right now. Get Penn State and Ohio State off your mind. They're a different level right now, okay? We need to make sure we beat the Minnesotas, the Nebraskas, the USCs again, the
Right.
UCLAs, leave the Oregons, the Washington, even Washington's all right. Leave them alone. We might can get Michigan because they're prime for the pickings too. Even though my daughter's about to go to Michigan, so I have to pull for them.
First off, we got to
Michigan.
stop that. First off,
Wow.
she chose the wrong M.
Wow. That was a harmless
They-
plug.
And let me. They were both were paying, and I thought she was going to be a Terp. She had a full ride, to be a
Oh,
Terp. But she
could've been a Terp.
she's fell in love with Michigan. She's been talking about Michigan for 2 years, but
It likes
I'll
the
leave it
cold. You
I was
don't
gonna say,
see
she know it does get cold, right?
Yes.
It gets cold.
I told her I'm
Ooh,
not
I did.
sending her any more blankets. She better take them home that she needs. I'll send her some batteries for the blankets. But that's about it. But when it snows, she still has to go to school. But that's a whole other story. But those are the teams that we need to worry about beating because
Those might be more feasible.
yes,
Yeah, I can
and
see
those
what
are going to
you're
keep
saying,
the
Al.
keep him here.
But
can
to
see
be fair, the Penn State game again got out of hand because the quarterback, like,
Yeah, it
and
did,
I
but-
know the final score doesn't do it justice, but like the bad games, again, I feel like it was just off. So I think that's one thing he got right this year was the quarterback position, right? Like he had to solve that one. But again, with the new athletic director, I mean, think about it. If he's looking at the portfolio, Mike Loxley, let's be honest, has a mediocre portfolio, right? Again, bowl game wins, right? And you could say, you know, again, the quarterback situation, you know, had been off and on, right? We had Talua up and down, right? And I think I want to say he's still in Canada, I think, right? Playing right now. You know, and he got up and down. When he was good, he was good. And when it wasn't so good, it wasn't so good. Billy had his issues. So I think he's going to be basing a lot of his job on what Malik can do.
Sid, go ahead and put that question back up.
Oh, that was me.
Oh, okay. All right. So here's another question for you. Do you feel that these teams can potentially be dynasty teams, or are they just one and done teams? Example: Denver, Dallas, Toronto. Well, Dallas traded away their superstar.
And Dallas was hurtful, man.
And that was just a GM not being in touch with this. Like, did he ever visit the locker room?
No, Nico took a bullet, man. Nico took a bullet for that ownership. I firmly believe that. It's no way that move is made without ownership.
They did.
It's no way it's made. You don't trade Luka and take the heat that he takes and still keep your job. Unless ownership told you, we need you to do this. We don't want to pay him because of things we're seeing around here or hearing around here about our superstar. And you all live in the Dallas area. So you know you all probably hear better than we do up here in this side. But if we heard things on this side, we know you heard things about his conditioning, his partying, his drinking, his off the court activities, boatloads. But he's still performing.
You know you're a Cowboys fan. And you know that 53-man roster is off the chain. So you tell us, what do these players do in their free time? Come on, Al. You know.
Come on, man. We just saw it with Stephon. Kelsey didn't want to talk about it, but we
don't get me started on that one.
We they do, but that's their private time. I mean, like I said, it's up to them to do it and them to catch them. That's how I see it. From a former player, you can do what you want to do. It's up to them to catch you. And I got to do it. But I don't know how those things, but in the era of phone cameras, I still don't understand how these things get recorded.
Right. Like, does everything need to be shown? Like,
I don't know. But Kelsey, do you see any dynasties coming out of the NBA anytime soon?
You know, it's funny. I was just on a show right before this, and so I was later. We were talking about OKC and what they're building and what they're budding. Now, I think it's still early to see. We have to see if they're able to win the championship, but I like what OKC has, right? I know, obviously, like Denver, I'm curious what y'all think. I think Denver was probably one of the bigger disappointments, right?
Yes.
You know, in this playoff series. Boston, I don't know if people already consider that one, right? I think Jason Tatum getting hurt obviously was. What were you going to say, Alvin? Because you look like you're going to add to that.
No, I'm agreeing with what you're saying. Boston was supposed to be in a dynasty, but
and then the injury happened. Right.
I think that they were missing Brown for most of the season. Like, I kept saying, well, where's Brown? You only hear about Tatum. Like, where's Batman and Robin?
But when Brown had a chance to step up when Tatum was out, right? It wasn't.
He didn't.
Right. So there's that. It's interesting, you know, that and it's kind of like, is that dynasty era going to still continue, especially in an era now where we see NBA players like jumping ship and hopping ships, right? You know, like they are now. And so I think that's what's going to be interesting. I don't know if I have any team. Boston healthy with Tatum back, I think you still put them in that category. But outside, like I want to see what OKC does. I'll say that. I want to see what OKC is able to do now. I think they've been surprising, and I would love to see Ant-Man hopefully again. Even Anthony Edwards is another one. I don't agree with his off the court antics, but I would love to see him be able to be part of it.
Right.
And I won't go deeper than that. I would love to see him go.
You giving them a real break tonight, Kelsey. You are giving these guys a real
I want people
break
to behave. I want people to behave.
We don't have Lady A here today. So
Lady A might be finding you.
Supposed to be behaving. She's our sergeant of arms, and she hands out fines when we misbehave. And she's not here, so we can act up a little bit.
It's hard for her to keep us in line.
Crazy storylines, like for these guys again, because they're great. They're great players. OKC. I mean, everybody wants to do what the Warriors did, right? And even the Warriors have been harder to watch, right? Because we see, after the dynasty, right? And what happens with that. But I would have a bet on OKC potentially getting there, but Boston, I think, is the one that we have to look at right now. I would love for the Cavs to be able to be that, but again, I don't trust them in the postseason. I think that's where I am right now. The Lakers dynasty that people wanted. I don't think Luke is not going to be able to do that for y'all. We know where LeBron is. So, yeah, I think that's where we're at. The era of dynasties is going to be interesting to see if we get that to continue. KD's decision is also, I think, going to be interesting. That's something we have to look at, too. Giannis, honestly, I'm excited for this NBA offseason. Like, I think this is about to be so excited and so fun. Just kind of see what happens. We had the dynasty era. I think we're curious about right now.
And speaking of KD, I'm glad you brought KD up. Speaking of KD, they really wanted him in with Golden State to come back to Golden State, and he pretty much refused. Like, nah, I'm not going back over there.
You saw Draymond. He passed them 2 pieces.
See, I told you.
That one was not me, for the record.
We know.
Fine. I thought that was really interesting that he that would have been a good fit for him, and I thought it would have been a good fit for him. And he was like, "Nah, I'm not going back to Golden State." That was surprising.
I got a question for you, Kelsey.
Yeah,
I think the chat would love to know, because you're a fan of the best football team in this area, the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
What do you see from the best football team in the area, the Baltimore Ravens, for this upcoming season?
Come on, Al.
Jackson. I'm talking to Kelsey Pitt.
Leading the witness.
Please mute yourself.
I know the Commanders fans might be a little salty right now.
Leading the witness.
I'm just saying, Derrick Henry, and
Derrick Henry back is huge. Yes, and Lamar, y'all. He's serious.
What are you expecting out of the Ravens and the best football team in the whole entire DMC Mid-Atlantic area?
Look, the Ravens, like, for them, it's the consistency, right? I know everyone's talking about Lamar and can he get over the hump and stuff. I'm not worried about Lamar. I think Lamar is going to be. I'm excited to see Lamar continue to be Lamar. You talked about Derrick Henry. They increased, right, the pass game, right? Newest receiver, got Hopkins in there as well. I think the tight end spot is bright. Baltimore's bright spot, though. Isaiah Likely is one of my favorites. I don't think he gets talked about enough. Which might be the star, right? Andrews likely deserves so much more, and I think maybe true football fans don't realize him. But he's only going to get better, and he's been good, since he's been there. I think Baltimore's on the up end. I will say that. I'm not worried about the Baltimore Ravens. Again, I think, are they saying Golden State for the dynasty?
Yes,
yeah.
Right now?
No, the last true dynasty.
Oh, okay. I was about to say right now, Golden State. Okay, yeah, definitely the last true dynasty.
Golden State.
But I'm excited about Baltimore. I really am. I'm excited about both quarterbacks here. But again, for Lamar and for the Baltimore Ravens, it really is going to be able to see, can they get past who, y'all? Who? Kansas City, right? Like, let's just be honest.
Buffalo? Because Buffalo's
going to be interesting too, but I'm not fully sold on Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen. With shout out, by the way, congratulations on your wedding. Buffalo was good. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But I'm a person that thinks, the MVP last year, I think Lamar got gypped, but that's
he did. But it was just fatigue on Lamar.
Right. The voter fatigue. But but I will say, let's look at the AFC North, and let's look at the AFC North specifically, right? And who Baltimore is going to have to go against. Let's start with the Browns, right? Who everyone is talking about right now, and who that quarterback is going to be, which all eyes look like we are going to get a 40-year-old Flacco, right? Starting out of that camp.
You can't start off. I mean, that's a good. Let's get into the season type decision.
Yeah. But Cleveland is trying to figure it out, right? They know they messed up with the Deshaun. And then Shador, I know people are excited about Shador, just being there, the jersey set, like everything he's able to bring in money-wise. I said we're not going to see Shador, though, until the Brown season doesn't mean anything. We'll see him earlier than that.
How did you feel about that Shador situation? I mean, we haven't talked to you since.
Oh, that's right. We haven't talked. I mean, honestly, I feel like most people. I thought the drafting spot was disrespectful. But I do, and I'm not saying I don't think he should have been first though either, right? I think he should have been first round. I just do, especially look at the quarterback's pick. But I do think that it's going to be something that he can feed off of and like just use as motivation. I think Lamar did that, right? When he was that first pick of the last round, Ozzie Newsome making sure he got the guy to Baltimore, and I think Lamar has always used that, as motivation. Pittsburgh, another team in the AFC North, right, that Lamar is going to have to go against. Pittsburgh has questions at quarterback, right?
Yes, they do.
Yes,
I don't know
they
what
do.
guy, Old Man Rogers coming in the door.
Wow. Is he there? You've seen him? I mean, can you say that yet?
They're saying he's supposed to potentially, maybe.
Oh,
So Pittsburgh. So I really feel like Baltimore's thing is going to have to be going against who in the division, the Bengals, right? And the Bengals are going to be curious to watch. I'm a big fan of Joey Burrow, but all that to say, I really do think Lamar is just going to have to continue to do what he does, carry it on his back. I think Ravens defense too. I want to see last season they had uncharacteristic problems with that secondary. I want to make sure that secondary is able to.
They did something in the secondary in the draft.
They did. They addressed the issues. Now they just got to make sure it comes together right on the football field. I think that was the biggest thing.
Y'all got another dog out there,
which was good. And there's been high words coming out of him for camp, which is really exciting and really promising. And let's remember, Baltimore's identity has really been that defense, right? So again, it was weird to hear like when the Ravens were struggling on the defensive side. But all to say, Alvin, I'm not worried about Baltimore this season. I think their schedule isn't the easiest, but I feel like they're going to play Baltimore football, and they'll be back to the postseason. It will just be, can they go over the hump? That's really going to be what it is for Baltimore.
Thank you.
Yeah, because we already see this guy right here, one of his teams. That Pittsburgh Steelers pick was absolutely astonishing for them not to have picked this guy up, for them not to have kept either Fields or Russell Wilson. That was
interesting.
That was so surprising to me. They didn't attempt to keep either one of them. But those are guys that fit the offensive coordinator scheme.
And they draft Will Howard.
Rodgers does not fit the offensive scheme. Did they not watch what he did with Matt Ryan in Atlanta? Were they not paying attention? He was the offensive coordinator and the head coach. Matt Ryan struggled all year long. Guess what you got in Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, Pittsburgh has me doing this. I mean, none of us.
I'm doing this. You do this. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out too.
None of us know, but that's good for Lamar, right? And the Baltimore Ravens, I think, in that AFC North division, which for a long time, right, has been one of the better, hard, tough divisions, right, in football. But I think Lamar is going to do well. Oh, somebody said they think Russ is washed up.
Yeah,
I've been seeing a lot of that conversation on social. I've been seeing a lot.
Have you been seeing the OTAs for the Giants? That's not a good watch.
I don't know, whatever Sierra's doing to him, keep doing it.
Don't blame Sierra.
all the way through the first week of the season. All the way through the first week of the season. because
1-2 step.
We got to start off with we got to start off with a W in Washington so Al can be literally upset.
Kelsey, I'm just happy that you gave us quality football information from the best team in this area. Consistently. I'm not saying Kelsey, please help me. Help this guy. The guy above you, please help him. Who has been the best consistent team in this area?
Consistency-wise, it has been Baltimore. Like Baltimore fans, it's a standard. That's why Baltimore fans are there at the games too. Look, I'm sorry, but we got to be honest. Commander fans came back right when they saw the glory.
We did.
They're front runners. They finally found a way to the stadium. Even though it was right above, even though it was a bus and a train that took them there. There was no reason. They would all sell their tickets to anyone to the away team every time. So don't you give them any credit for
But they are back now. And Jaden Daniels deserves so much credit. Honestly, the front office deserves so much credit. But I will tell you, what Washington has built. I don't know though if I'm going to say Washington is immediately getting back right to where they got to last year in that NFC championship.
Thank you, Kelsey.
But I think in the NFC East, it's Phillies or Washington. But Washington, I will say, will be in the postseason. They will get there to the postseason.
I was with you till you just dropped that.
I think they're in the postseason. I'm not saying Jaden is going to completely replicate, but Washington is building and budding. They also address some of their needs in the draft. Give them that. Right. So the Commanders are the team you're afraid to see, I think, this season, because you just don't know.
This just in, I got a text from Lady A that says that Al got fined like 17 times. Kelsey got at least 3 fines as well.
Ooh,
Kelsey got 3 fines.
If you say anything bad about the Commanders, you might get fined, Kelsey. This is totally rigged over here, okay? So don't take it personally, Kelsey.
Washington, I have to say this. Our fans did walk away, but we walked away for the best reason possible. Is ownership was totally the reason why our fans just decided to say, hey, you know what? We'll hit the road, because you asked, we hit the road very, very well. We wasn't going to give that money to Dan Snyder, but yeah.
Let me get a kiss.
But Josh and the crew, yes, we will absolutely.
Grab me a river again.
Go ahead. Good. Al, I want you to cry when you take these 2 L's this year from Washington.
You know what, Al? You're right. You're right, Al. You're right.
Thank you, Sid. Ownership was so bad, we had to leave. Don't say nothing about the team hadn't won nothing except for one season with RG3 in the past 2 decades. That don't matter. But it was the ownership. Sure, Pitt. I get it.
But to be fair, you still got to give them the win with the Taylor Heineke era. Even though it was a bad year, they got to the playoffs, right?
They did.
And lost to a Tom Brady team, right? That went on.
The eventual champion.
Yes. And that was what, the 2020
I love how you play both sides. You are awesome. But you know how to keep them. You know how to keep them on. Because he's getting a little worried right there for a second.
I'm just saying. I was just saying. I'm like, listen, Kelsey. I
gave him a lifeline, Kelsey.
I do love having you on. You bring a wealth of knowledge, but I'm pretty sure Lady A will override me. And hey, let's set up this guest list right here. Yeah, I'm putting it all on Lady A right now. I'm putting it all on Lady A. Kelsey, listen, we do appreciate the amount of time that you've given us today. Your wealth of knowledge. Make sure you guys follow Kelsey on the socials at, just as her name is, Kelsey Nicole Nelson right there. She is a great interview. We do appreciate you. And she's all about the Washington teams, including the one up north, Baltimore. So
I give DC and Baltimore love. Like, it's all love.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, she does.
It's true.
Follow her on her.
It is true. Hold on.
Instagram. But I do follow her on Instagram. She does give great information. So I can attest to that. You follow her on all the social media outlets, because she will give you good information.
I do have one last question. So you made your first trip up to, was it what stadium was that you just went to?
The Citi Field. It was so much fun.
The Mets.
Yeah, I got to see the Mets and Dodgers series. So cool. Got my replica jersey. It was all the Shohei Ohtani fans there because they were playing the Dodgers. But I had never been to Citi Field. It's beautiful. I would say Camden Yards is always my favorite. Citi Field is up there. I truly enjoyed Citi Field. Yankee Stadium, I'll be going back to New York soon. That will be my next one.
That fantasy podcast said, come to Florida.
All right, look, I can add to my summer travel list. School's out, classes out, so I have a little bit more time to dibble and dabble.
There we go. Make sure you hit this Texas Ranger Stadium as well. It's pretty awesome.
Right. It is pretty awesome. Added to my list.
Right.
The Citi Field was amazing. The fans were absolutely amazing. Black party. It was fun.
Nice. Good. It's not that hot when you stay inside.
It's too hot in Texas in the summer to watch a baseball game.
They keep the roof closed for that reason.
Walking from the car to the stadium.
There's Texas Live right there. So you do have a spot to catch a cold beverage before you walk into the
and a cold poker chip. I'm with you on that.
There you go. You know what I mean? So there you go. You got that to look forward to. And just to the right side of that, there's a parking lot, and then there's another place that's over to the right of Texas Live.
Uh-huh.
Just avoid it. It's not a good look. It's not a good place to go.
Remember that.
It's yeah. Al knows what it is.
Oh, but I'm going to Houston soon too. So I have a lot of things that I just need to do. I have a trip to Houston, I have Minneapolis. Like I'm gonna be all over the United States this
Houston
summer.
All right,
is
so
a beautiful,
Washington.
beautiful city.
Oh,
Great food, great shopping. A lot of good reasons to be in Houston.
Oh, I love Houston.
I just couldn't live there because it's too
The
hot.
stadium just
It's
okay.
too hot.
I don't know what he talking about. The stadium just okay. I don't know what he talking about.
I'm talking about the stadium. I'm talking about the city.
the city of Houston.
The city of
Yeah.
Houston is
There's a
great-
new spot, Kelsey. I'll text you. There's a spot that I want to eat at in Houston. I think I may absolutely take a drive down there just to eat.
Nice.
I'll text it to you.
Please.
I'll text it to you. You can give me a review. Tell me, is it worth a little 4-hour trip
Okay.
down the road? As soon as I just got to go back on my Facebook because I got it. Oh, it's a brunch spot in Houston. That's what it is. It's a
Nice.
24/7 brunch spot in Houston.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Please do. I love a good
Please
brunch.
make
I'm like DC girls. We love a good brunch because I
Yes,
think
we
DC
do.
brunch is the best. But yeah, I'll be in Houston. I have Dallas. Like I'll be a lot of places. So I'm gonna be traveling.
All right. Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you guys. This was so much fun. I hope you guys have a great night. And I can't believe how much closer we're getting to football season. But
Yeah. Corey, how many days away are we? Corey should tell us here in a little bit. He's been putting up
Oh my God.
Placards.
Commanders
Oh,
jersey
I-
numbers
Please excuse Corey.
to tell us how many days away we are from opening kickoff from the
Oh, I
from that
love
first
that.
game. So
Are you guys going overseas? Are you guys going to the overseas Commanders game?
No. My wallets just say stay still.
Understand.
Travel in the state.
Understand that too.
That trip is a little. That trip is a
That's
little
what,
much.
Kelsey.
96 days.
They might
96
not
days.
even be fans by the time that game gets over.
No.
The way this season may go for
You're going to
them.
be done.
I
What was
can't
that?
wait to
They
see
may have
Al.
Found
What was
another
that?
reason not to support the team.
Are you kidding me? I cannot
No.
wait to see you every Tuesday after a W. I can't wait to see Al's face week after week after week.
I just
Man.
the jury's still out.
Hey,
Man.
what we got
I feel
going
like
on?
you guys need to do a bet though. Like if he loses, he's got to get you to Madrid to watch that game.
Oh man,
What week is that?
that is
I've
that's-
offered the little wagers within the show.
Week
I don't
what?
think they figured out what that will be from my co-host. They won't do the whole jersey swap thing.
Okay.
They-
Okay.
I've offered those things, and they don't have that confidence, Kelsey,
Oh.
in their team to be able to stand on business when it comes to playing. So I mean, I thank you for putting it out there.
I was just saying,
week 11 said that's week 11, and I don't know what Al's talking about, but I do stand on business when it comes to my squad. Ask Corey, because Corey was just on here Saturday saying, "Wait a minute, Pitt, you such a Chiefs fan." No, Corey, she's a Chiefs fan. I always pick my squad. Don't do me, bro. Come on. What the big eyes for said?
I ain't saying nothing, bro.
But the eyes are speaking to me right now.
I know what they're saying.
No,
Said I read them very well,
It's
but
just the eyes are saying I'm hungry. That's what it is. That's
Oh, okay.
You
Thank you,
guys think
Kelsey.
about that food in Houston.
Thank you, Kelsey. We appreciate your
Thank
time.
you guys. This was fun. Have a great night. Bye,
so
everyone.
much fun.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Again, man, that was Kelsey Nicole Nelson. Man, make sure you give her a follow. She's amazing. She's about her sports.
very much in the know. I
Man,
think Dynasty Podcast said we lack females who know sports. Well, she's definitely one that does know it, and she's
yes.
a treasure
Yes.
to have on every time.
Yes, Dynasty Sports Podcast. We bring a lot of females on that know their sports. So yeah, stay tuned and thanks for tapping in with us as well. And Corey, no, I'm not a Chief simp.
Yes, she is.
Oh my
Sometimes,
God. Are you serious?
Say, you got any one of them tissues for me? There you go again, man. He loved having some Chiefs, man. I thought that burgundy was red. I swear it did. I'm with you, Corey. I wish I would have came on. That would have been a subject I could have easily spoke to. I'm telling, Pick. I'm telling it all. I'm telling, man. I ain't holding nothing back, man. Listen, doors open, man. Listen, man. Come on through, y'all. Pick right here.
I'm trying to figure this out right now. I'm trying to figure some things out, Sid.
The jury is still out on Jaden Daniels year 2. That's all I'm saying. He does love Mahomes.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Is this how we
It's all coming out. When
is this how we doing
it
this?
all will
Show?
come out, Pick. They will tell you about you. You got this is an intervention. They're trying to help you, Pick.
Thank you.
I admit to
Thank
my
you,
fandom.
Corey.
I have
Thank you, Corey.
reasons to have the allegiances that I have. So
Thank
it's
you,
not a
Corey.
fair weather fandom. It's a big umbrella of love. So the Cowboys fall in that umbrella. The Steelers, when Mike Tomlin is coaching them, fall into that umbrella. And the Bills fall into that umbrella when Sean McDermott is coaching them.
All right, let's get back.
If coaches leave, I'm done with them.
Let's get back to our regularly scheduled program right now.
Please.
So we did just cover a little bit of NBA. Well, we covered the NBA. We do have to talk about the NHL. The NHL Finals, we have the Oilers and the Panthers. I believe they start off tomorrow. And then we're just stuck with baseball. So we do got to cover this. So listen, I know that a lot of people don't watch hockey until the playoffs come. And the playoffs is totally different than the regular season because now you're going head to head with these teams just like in the NBA. You're not looking forward to the next team on your schedule. You got this team to deal with right here. So you got Connor McDavid for the Oilers, and you got Kachuk, right? I think it's a Kachuk. For the Panthers.
The Panthers won last year, correct?
The Panthers did, and they absolutely beat the brakes off of the Oilers last year. It was actually Game 7, but those Oilers looked devastated in the locker room post-game. So this is an absolute rematch from last year. It went 7 last year. Do we see 7 this year? And if we see 7, who do you want to win this thing? Said Al, it doesn't matter.
So I had a little interruption here. Can't keep peace in this house.
You got a graduation party to go to soon.
Yeah, I had a lot of stuff going on. I got a son. I got to get him together. I got a daughter robbing stuff from me at the same time. Anyway, Connor McDavid. I'd like to see him get a ring.
Best player in hockey.
So I'm pulling for Edmonton. I'm pulling for the Oilers to find a way to beat the powerful Panthers squad since the Caps are out of it. And Carolina disposed of them quickly, and then got disposed of by the Panthers even quicker. So I'm going to go with Edmonton. I want to see Connor McDavid, the best player in hockey, get a championship. So kind of like almost like my play with OKC. The best GM get a championship. I want to see the best player in hockey get a championship as well.
Okay, Said. I know you love some hockey.
I really don't care. The Vegas Knights is out of it.
I didn't see that one coming. I didn't see that one coming. I did not see that one coming.
The Vegas Knights is out of it. I don't care.
No, Racer X. No, absolutely not. The Caps will never get rid of Ovi. Ovi will decide when he's done playing.
Tell Corey, man, I appreciate that, man. My son just graduated from Potomac High School, so I got to shout out to my son, man.
Right. Corey's all over it, man. Corey's
definitely in the know, man. Like I tell him, that's why he got a good woman behind him. That's why I ain't as hard on him as I could be. He got a beautiful little son, man, and a beautiful woman behind him. And I swear that's the only thing that keeps me from giving him the business all the time. So
yeah, she got a Commanders jersey as well.
I don't see that when I see her. I just see the beautiful woman that supports him with their beautiful child. So that's all. He went to Forest Park. Okay, that's right down the street. My son played them in basketball.
So listen, Said is a Vegas Knights fan. I didn't see that one coming.
When did that come? When did that happen, Sid?
Yeah.
When they was running through people. Bigger, stronger, faster. Put your shield up. We coming through.
They have some Georgia Bulldogs on that team or something?
No, player. We don't play hockey in Georgia, player. That's why the team left.
Mm-hmm. All right, got it, man. Listen, shout out to Kelsey.
X, man. My daughter went to St. John's, so I gotta say, even though football wise, yeah, but my daughter went to St. John's, so that Gonzaga stuff is, ugh.
Hey, coming at you from all sides. Okay. There's one topic we haven't touched. That's the Washington Commanders OTAs, but I feel like we can pick that one up Saturday.
Sure.
Anybody agree?
I agree.
Disagree? That's what I meant to say.
Man, you can skip that title. That whole subject all around. You know what I'm saying? No OTAs, man. You know, is Jaden still pumping weights like your weightlifting and stuff, man?
That's not what happened. Man, you know somebody altered that photo, man.
You look a little swole, man. Let's make sure, man.
Somebody altered that photo. That photo was altered.
They said it's AI now, man. AI is enhanced.
It was altered. That was an altered photo. Jaden still looks normal. Put on a little weight. His arms did get a little bigger, but that photo was just altered all the way.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
Race X, man. It's like a good class, a great year to graduate. That's mine as well. But I'm about them purple Eagles, man. I mean, you know, like I said, I guess you all are pretty good, but I got to be a cadet, man. I'm a St. John's guy, man. I'm sorry. I mean, they get my tuition money, so I gotta get my support.
You got to give your support where you pay your money at, right?
What you want me to do, Race X? That's all I can do, man. You know, no disrespect, man. You know, I mean, I know St. John's. I went to the St. John's Gonzaga basketball game, and I went to the DeMatha Gonzaga basketball game when DeMatha punished them. So, but that's a whole other story. We won't go into that right now.
Yeah, that DCI, that WCAC basketball is something serious for sure. That is something serious for sure. Say it.
It's frozen.
He's frozen.
I'm muted.
Oh, you were muted. All right. So we covered our NBA. We covered the WNBA. We covered the NHL. Right. We got it all in. Special shout out to Kelsey. Thank you for giving us the time that you gave us today. Man, I'm going to say it again one more time. Do not forget to follow her on socials. She will give you awesome tours and things like that and brings great sports knowledge to you. So for sure, give her a follow. And we thank her for coming on First String Podcast today. Thank you all, everyone that's in the chat. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to First String Podcast. We will continue to bring you great content every Tuesday and Saturday. We will take some days off here and there so we can recharge our batteries before we get hard and heavy into the football season. Right? Mm-hmm. It is cookout season as well, so we're going to get some of those down. No, Lady A tonight. Lady A is not feeling well. She has no voice, so she wouldn't be able to be on here tonight anyway. She has no voice.
Some tea. We sent her some honey, some lemon, and what else did we send her?
Just a whole bunch of well wishes.
A whole bunch of get well wishes. Yes.
Yeah. And she still hit the find button somehow. Don't know how. But man, we will see you all on Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. You ready to say it?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Shouts out to my son, United States Air Force, First String Podcast, second to none. Come get some. Tell him, say it.
No.
Raise hell.
Go dogs.
It's wartime, baby. This what you signed up for. This what we worked hard for. You for. Y'all the first string. Y'all gotta go set the tone now. Hey, let's go. Lace them up. It's the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go. 'Cause it's time for the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Lace them up. It's the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast show. Imagine talking sports, having fun with the fam. At a starting lineup, First String is what you have. An entertaining stream with the Pro Bowl cast. When the viewers chime in, they gon' answer what you ask. Representing for the Queens, yeah, we got Lady A. A super knowledgeable woman who can break down any play. Said from the South, so he read GA. The Falcons, the Bulldogs, the whole Peach State. Drunk Uncle Al, only way you can describe him. Every time he crack the mic, you know he gon' be wildin'. Last but not least, it's my man Toothpick. Commanders is a squad and he the captain of the ship. So if you feel the vibe, go